3, 2, 1.
Peanut Gallery Gaming.
Yay!
Yay!
Welcome to another episode of Peanut Gallery Gaming, where our opinions don't matter. This week, we're going to talk about recent games that are being dropped on Game Pass and dive deep into racing games. This week, we have a special guest called Dozy Mosey. Say hi to everybody, Dozy.
Hello.
Hello, Dozy Mosey.
Welcome to the Peanut Gallery, where your opinions don't matter here. Next, we got Stinky Bandit.
G'day.
Bartol Il Perso.
Hello.
We got Hoggy Dog.
Hello.
And Uncle Blobby.
Hey, everybody. Happy Sunday.
As always, I'm haunted.
As it may be.
Well, for our friend down under, it's definitely Monday. So let's talk about these new games being added to Game Pass here.
Brand new games.
There's a few new games. Has everybody had any chances to play them?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah. I gotta
Right.
fuck up the name of it, but Superliminal?
Oh, yeah.
It's,
I've played a bit of that, too.
first-
Yeah, I'm enjoying this. It kind of reminds me of got a Portal feel, except you don't have portals, but the same puzzle solving room by room. Go at it.
all first person.
Yeah.
Do you like the first person aspect where you got to play around with objects and
Well, it's the puzzle part that I like. I like that there's something in the room that you need to make the other door open.
okay.
You must succeed in passing this puzzle to progress.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
like
cool.
that, too. And the gimmick in this game is pretty cool. Like, how a portal obviously has the portal gun, and that's how you solve most of the puzzles. Well, the gimmick in this game is based around the first-person perspective, and maybe Barto knows a little better than I do, but you can pick up an object like a cube or a chess piece or whatever, and then if you hold it at a certain angle and you're looking at something really far away that it looks big, and then you drop it, well, suddenly that object is way bigger than it was. Or if you do the
It's
opposite,
really
it gets smaller.
Yeah. That's
it's
exactly
really
how-
using illusion.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And to be perfectly honest, I got stuck on the last mission of the tutorial on Friday night.
There was a tutorial.
Well, whatever the intro thing was, yeah. The last part, you gotta pick up the cube and make it so big that you put it over like the roof so that you can grab it from the next room. And I just couldn't figure that out.
Okay. Yeah, you just had to make it hopefully land on the other side of the room to push the button.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Maybe I'm doing the tutorial, I'm not sure.
Okay, so that's one new game. Sounds like you guys are enjoying it. I'm gonna have to try. Another game I'm seeing here is I Am Fish. I tried that. Looks like you gotta basically run around as a little fish and just run around different areas of the house outside. Looks pretty fun. I'm gonna definitely try that one out. The next one is that
For a dumb bit of background on that I Am Fish is apparently it's kind of a semi-sequel to that other weird game that the same people made called I Am Bread.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I haven't played this. I'm a bad person for Game Pass, right? I download all the games and play one of them. But when I watched a few things on this game, these fish actually get fed sentient bread, which is the bread from I Am Bread, and then that's where they get intelligence and then try to escape humanity in their little fish bowls and shit rolling around. So yeah, it's kind of a.
If I remember, I Am Bread is where you're a piece of bread. You have to make it across a kitchen, and you have to stick yourself to surfaces. As you
That's
go
I
along.
do that every day at work.
And the last one I see here that's any interest would be Skatebird. Where you're like
What the fuck is it?
it's like Tony
It says it
Hawk
right there in
Pro
the name.
Skater.
You're a skateboarding bird. I don't understand.
Does it get any more obvious than that?
That's Tony Hawk Pro
It's Tony
Skater.
Hawk. Yeah. You're a bird.
Quite literally.
Yeah, and this game definitely looks like at the best price of Game Pass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's one of those. Oh, this is cool. 20 minutes later, uninstall. But there's another one there too. I don't know if it's on your computer Game Pass, but it's called Origami 2, where you go and it's like either a 1, 2, or 3-man team, and it's like a ninja stealth assassin type game.
Yeah, Origami 2. Yeah.
We'll
That
give
looks
you an
pretty
opinion
good.
on that tomorrow when Stinky and I play it after.
Will you guys crush it out?
We'll have a go, yeah. We did finish the final mission in. Oh, so I guess it's kind of Game Pass. I guess we did finish the final Pirates of the Caribbean mission yesterday for
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Yeah.
That's Game Pass.
Yeah, final mission was fun. Mission 3 was garbage in that 5-mission level, but the rest were pretty good.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody
You know, you
agrees
guys
with-
were. I know you guys were saying more about Sea of Thieves being on those missions. You're kind of put in a side world where you can't really be destroyed or wrecked while you're doing a mission.
In mission 2 and 5, you're still in the open world, but
Okay.
mission 1, 3, and 4. Yeah, you go into your own little bubble. Pretty sure you go in your own bubble in 4.
Well, even the stages where you're still in the open world, you're actually off map, so
Yeah.
people just can't drive out there. You know that other tall tale where you had that item that lets you drive off map, so then therefore you don't get crushed by the waves out there. Yeah, it's kind of like that. But I'd say all the missions were good, but then they also all had their kind of shitty bad parts. But
Yeah, like
Yes.
you can
Yeah.
get stuck in places, and then you're stuck in the map, and if you don't have any way to kill yourself, you just have to restart your game. And if you're single player, you lose all your progress.
That's so good.
Oh.
but yeah, for the right price of Game Pass, it was worth checking out. Pretty good.
Hey, Dozy. So I know you don't know what Game Pass is. Have you ever heard of Game Pass? He's PlayStation.
Yeah. I play PlayStation.
Okay, is there something in PlayStation that's kind of like this? You pay a subscription fee and you get all these games.
Yeah. I can't remember what it's
Is
called.
it EA? Can you get EA access?
No, I've never checked it out. Like, we have like a PlayStation Plus, which is like subscription, so it's like your Xbox Live. But there is like a PlayStation. Oh, what's it called? I think it's called PlayStation Now. Yeah, that's it. And it's basically the same thing. I've never used it, but I have my machine's only 500 gigs, so
Yeah. That's a lot of like erasing and downloading, erasing down.
That's like
pretty
half
much
of
all
Call
I
of
do.
Duty.
I know. Oh man, I've had to delete so many games because of that fucking game. Like, I had to update it, and I put Gran Turismo in the library. I was like, ugh. I downloaded Gran Turismo like a month ago. It's awesome. Didn't want to give it up.
So, coming from, you play a lot of Call of Duty. I know lately we tried to get you more into Apex. Which one do you prefer better as a first-person shooter?
The Office. You have to shoot them like 50 times before they actually go down. Whereas like Call of Duty, you could like run around a corner and it's like, 5 shots and they're down.
Yeah. And then I know what was it, last weekend? I let you try Tarkov.
Oh yeah, I was terrible.
And
I was
within
terrible.
seconds,
I think I lasted like 3 minutes, which is about my average for everything else in life.
When you played Tarkov, were you playing as a scav or were you on Hodded's PMC?
Was that Scav? Oh yeah, Brian made me a new character because he didn't want me to fuck up his rep.
Yeah, so
Smart man.
I first put him in as a scav on interchange. Went through, I said, "Okay, don't shoot anybody unless you see them and you know they're a PMC. They'll be shooting at you first." He ran through. He escaped unharmed. I didn't know quite to loot yet. And then I said, "Okay, it's time to get into the real thing." So I said, "Here's a PMC." So I just gave him a gun, all backpack, helmet, chest piece. And he was running down customs. He ran to the ice cream shack, which is at an end of a bridge, kind of at an intersection. And he got shot at. He screamed and then ran and hid and then peeked his head out around the corner and then died.
Boom.
Game over.
Like I barely looked around the corner. I was so pissed off.
Oh, I've been there.
The game there is unforgiving. Yeah. It only takes one shot to down you. It's a real man's game.
It's a real man's game for manly men.
Okay, so I know we've all played racing games growing up. Mario Kart, Diddy Kong Racing, all those other games. Whiplash, Road Rash. We played a lot of Road Rash growing up. What are some games that comes to your guys' mind when I say racing games?
Gran Turismo.
Did you say breakfast?
Wreckfest.
Oh, Wreckfest, yeah.
Breakfast.
Need for Speed.
Burnout Paradise.
Franchise of racing games. Yeah.
There's one that I played on the computer. I think it was around maybe the year 2000. It's called Motor City Online, which is like one of the OG massively multiplayer online racing games. And I really liked that one because you started off with like a certain amount of money. You had to buy a shitty car and then run races against other players to win money. And then you could buy upgrades like new tires, new parts for your engine, new blah, blah, blah. And eventually you could sell that car off and you'd have enough money for a slightly better old shitty car and do it all over again. Actually, I've never, ever found another racing game that was that satisfying since then.
I know there's one on the phone that I used to play. I think it was called CSR Racing 2. Where all it is you're drag racing and you get a car, obviously a crappy car in the beginning, and you drag race and you just have to hit the shifting on your phone.
Oh, yeah.
And then you just basically try and win and just get your car faster and faster. And, you go up through, you get like BMWs, then Mercedes, and then you get Lamborghinis, and then you get higher end cars, right? Higher you go. Those were kind of fun. Nice little game, time passing games. But one that really sticks out, and I know Dozy and I played, was I think when Need for Speed came out and they had the drag racing. They first came out with the drag racing.
What was it called?
Was that Pursuit?
You could it was you do drag racing, you could do circuit racing, drifting.
Underground?
Might be Underground.
It was like a whole bunch of different disciplines.
Yeah. It first
But it
came
wasn't
in
like on the street. It was like on courses.
on
and
courses.
Stuff. I can't remember what it was called.
I'll look that up here while we're talking about it. But I just remember when drag racing was implemented into Need for Speed franchise, and you literally had to do a custom layout for the car because you'd had to do like certain distance wheeling through the air, or a certain time. So you had to do different timing, and you had to do different gear ratios and more torque. It put a little bit more dazzle on the game, if you would say, more than just upgrade to the best next part and just keep going. That makes sense to you?
Yeah, for sure. I can get behind that. Another one way back in the day that my buddy had, but I never had, was the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, where you could either be the fast car driver, or you could be the police and try to pull over the racers.
Right. That was for like the 64 era, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was around then. I know my buddy had it on his computer. I don't know if it was available elsewhere, but
I do know that Need for Speed police cars are fast no matter what you have.
They might still have.
You could have something
Ford
with 800
Interceptor.
horsepower, and they would just come flying up behind you and hit you. It's like, what the fuck?
What about pod racing? Anybody remember Star Wars pod racing?
yeah, I rented that one a few times.
Not as
Yeah, that
good
was
as,
actually pretty good.
not as good as Diddy Kong Racing though.
Kong Racer was pretty good.
Does anybody remember way back in the day, like Super Nintendo era, like the original Top Gear?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I love that. Or what was that? F-Zero?
Oh yeah. I didn't like F-Zero as much because it was like sci-fi, I guess.
Yeah, those
I don't
cars
know.
went stupid speeds, like 300 kilometers an hour.
And the tracks were all like I don't know, I remember them just being weird, I guess. I don't know.
I can remember a weird ass game that one of my buddies used to own on his Super Nintendo, and it was actually pretty good. And it was Unirally, and you're actually a unicycle. It was unicycle racing, and I know it sounds fucking dumb. I understand that, but it was it's actually a 2D game where you go from left to right.
Oh,
and you
yeah.
do little tricks, and as you do tricks, you get faster and faster. So you want to time your tricks and do different tricks over different jumps to get faster. And yeah, we actually played that game quite a lot. It was pretty good. And rock and roll racing. Back on the old Super Nintendo, I used to rent out all the time as well. That was quite good.
I have a list here of top racing games, and rock and roll racing has made spot 25.
that was a good game.
1993 game came out. Wreckfest is in 24. I know Ardo brought that up. We played that one about half a year ago, maybe a little bit longer ago. One of our buddies, Meaford, he wanted us all to play it. It was pretty fun. The demolition was pretty good in it. I don't know if you played this, Dozy, but you could get on a lawnmower, ride a lawnmower, and have a derby inside here. That was fun. Backing into each other, making your character go flying. I remember this one, Wave Racing 64, where you're on Sea-Doos.
Yeah, definitely on my list of memorable racing games for sure.
There's one here, Midnight Club 3. I know this game came out on, not this specific one, but one of its more recent editions have come out on the Xbox.
They're Rockstar games too, I believe.
Yeah, they are. Okay, so Dozy, I know you like rally racing. You like the ones where they hill climb, like the drifting. You like Forza? Have you ever played Forza? Or is it more?
I
Turismo?
have, but I don't have an
Okay,
Xbox.
so what is your favorite? If you had to pick a racing game on the spot, like I'm putting you on now, your go-to racing game. If you were to leave here, go home, and you wanted to play racing, which one are you picking up?
Well, Gran Turismo Sport, because
It's new.
well, I downloaded it last, but it's pretty sweet. Like you can do online races and stuff like that, and tons of tracks. And you can also do different disciplines. Like you have time trials. You can do campaign racing. I think it's campaign. But the only thing is, like, you can't, like, you get a car, you can tune it, but you can't change anything. Like, it's all technical changes, so you can change, like, ride height, brake bias.
So you can't be like, I want these different set of brakes on there.
Yeah, you can't get, like, brakes and components. You can get, like, I think you can just get rims and
Like
that's
bigger
about
engine
it. But
maybe?
there's, like, tons of cars. Like, they also made, like, cars specific for the game. So they're like called like Gran Turismo Vision cars. So all like the manufacturers made like specific cars for that game.
Okay.
And they're pretty cool. Like if you look them up, they're pretty sweet. They're like a blend of like a racing car and like a hypercar put together. They look like super futuristic, like a concept car.
Okay, yeah. That's pretty cool.
You can actually race them.
How are the graphics in that game? Because I know
Awesome.
racing games usually when it comes to racing games, I notice more real life racing games are more focused on the graphics, and then they just take like a template of the mechanical parts and just switch it over and make the graphics better.
On certain games, I'd say so.
Yeah.
But like, I'm a big fan of like the Dirt series games.
Yeah.
So it's like off-road racing, rallying, rallycross. They're like simulators. So like it's set up like pretty sensitive. Like when you take corners, you'll actually like understeer, go straight, or like you can easily spin out if you're in a rear-wheel drive car. And yeah.
The realism
Very
when you're
tricky.
playing the racing games now, and the sound
Oh yeah,
are
yeah,
amazing. Like they record
Yeah.
the vehicles. They can.
yeah. I saw a video of how they like do it, and they put cars in there. It's pretty crazy. Honestly, with a controller, it kind of sucks. Like I'd really like to have like a wheel.
And like have like a whole setup where you're actually like almost, cause you see on the internet, you see these people that have crazy like 3 monitors in front of them, a steering wheel. It's all one
Daytona.
piece. Yeah. You just sit in it and you drive and you actually shift with a shifter and you use it. That's what you need.
Yeah, I think it would make it much easier.
Yeah.
Because like on a controller, it's
Yeah,
kind of
just
hard to judge.
That's the only thing you need in your living room.
Yeah.
That
One of those
point about the
covered gaming
controller.
chairs.
Yeah, that Hotted was talking about last week.
Yeah.
One of those fucking shitty Nintendo Wii steering wheels that you plug the chuck into.
Okay, so that point about the controllers is a good one. I think it's probably way better with the steering wheel. But that being said, if you're on a PC and you're trying to play racing games with the keyboard and mouse, you're even worse off. Like
That would be tricky.
that's
I agree with that.
it's a bad experience in my opinion. Now I have a question. One thing that always bugged me about like Gran Turismo, and I think the last one that I played was 4 or maybe even 3, and probably other more simulation racing games back then, was they never had like visible damage on the car. Like you could be going 200 miles an hour and slam into the wall and your car would just bounce off and still be in perfectly mint condition. Whereas some of these other games that I played, you know, you could actually see the car get smashed up, like parts would fall off and whatever. And I always liked that.
Apparently,
a lot
that
better.
whole damage thing that you just brought up is more of a licensing issue than anything else. Because I've heard the same thing with, like, you know, because Forza, it's got 2 different versions. You know, Forza Horizon, more of like an open world, more arcadey type. But then the proper Forza, which is like Gran Turismo, has the same thing where there's no. Your bumper might fall off, but your car's not just going to lose a door halfway down the thing, and that's actually more of a licensing thing. Like the when
Really?
they license,
Okay.
yeah. So that's. I'm pretty sure that's, if you look into it, I'm pretty sure that's more what that's about.
Pretty sure in Australia, if you bump into a rail, a unicorn shoots out.
Yeah.
on the dirt rally games, you can have, like, if you like once you can like blow tires. I've knocked off doors, and like you can have like engine problems. Like,
Oh yeah.
you'll be going down the course, and then all of a sudden, in your little gauge cluster on your heads up, be like your engine light, and your co-driver will start saying, "I think we have an issue," and then you'll actually like go slower, and slower, and you can like if you pop a tire, you can like push a button and it'll change the tire, but then it'll add time to your
Race.
to your run.
Oh yeah, like he had done.
Which makes sense.
Or something.
Yeah, because like on like a rally course, there's no like pit stops. It's just like on stage. Like if something happens to you, like you don't have like a crew, you just like
Yeah, you're in the middle of the
Really?
bush or whatever.
yeah.
You're not waiting for Sasquatch to come out of the bush.
In terms of realism, those are my favorite. The Dirt Rally series.
Dirt Rally's your favorite?
Yeah.
More realistic?
Yeah, in terms of like realism, it's probably my favorite one.
So Dirt 5 is on the Game Pass.
I haven't played that yet.
This Game Pass making you kind of wish you had a Xbox?
Did you show him Game Pass audit?
Well,
looking at it
Dirt
right
5, most of the Need for Speeds, Burnout Paradise, all the Forza games, like when the new Forza Horizon comes out, which actually looks really good. That'll be straight on there. So, sign up now. Tell them Sticky Bandit sing you. Use my discount code.
Yeah.
Oh, also on Game Pass now, since Microsoft has purchased Bethesda, all like, Skyrims. Which other ones coming out? Battlefield 2042 is coming out strictly Game Pass now.
I don't know.
I know 2042 is coming. 2042 is coming right to Game Pass, I've heard.
Oh, good, because I wouldn't have bought that game.
Exactly, so we could just download it. Game Pass here. I know Farming Simulator always comes out on Game Pass. It's kind of where you race a tractor to power your fields.
You race a tractor to the other end of the field, turn it around and race it back.
Yeah.
Play on your what? Yeah, shit.
Okay, so I have one more racing game that I used to play back in the day. I forget the exact title, but it's like American Truck Simulator or some shit. And it's not quite a racing game per se, but it's a driving game, and I really enjoyed it. And so you'd be like a semi-truck driver, and you'd start in some city somewhere, and there'd be these various trucking outfits. I guess you could go there and you pick up a trailer and you get this job, and then it's like, okay, drive to Dallas and drop it off at such and such a place.
Oh.
And then you gotta drive across the country and like try not to get pulled over by the cops and get a ticket, and try not to crash into anybody. And because then you would damage your cargo and you'd get less money for doing the job. And at the end game, if you made enough money as a trucker, you could hire AI to drive trucks for you, and you could buy this sports car and just rip across the map in a sports car. And back in the day, that was my jam.
That sounds pretty fun. I remember one that was really stuck out when we were all playing Xbox. I think it was the 360 when Trials HD came out. Everybody was talking about Trials HD. And all your friends, you had your scores, and you go home after work and you'd be like, oh, I got to beat so-and-so because his work, he is bragging up that he got this time or whatever. And so you go home and try to beat his score in that certain run. And I remember having a blast playing that game. Like,
Shit was tricky.
it was pretty tricky. I know.
I actually enjoyed those Trials games, but I can remember downloading that going, man, this is cool. I'm going to get platinum on every stage. Halfway through, done. Just get me through it.
Yeah.
Get me through this fucking stage. Because, they got super tricky towards the end.
Yeah.
Not even get bronze.
They gave you 99 lives, and sometimes that wasn't enough. You know what I mean? Like, so they got pretty intense.
It's crazy. Yeah, this Dirt 5 looks pretty good. You know, what about Mario Kart racing? Like party games that bring in Diddy Kong. You can bring in pod racing. I remember having fun playing that. Mario Kart racing is always a classic, right? Where you're racing around. I know people still to this day. I think they're still coming out with newer ones. I think they have the newest one. Actually, the newest.
Well, almost every mascot's had their own version of a kart racing game. There was South Park, Sonic, Crash Bandicoot, fucking Mario.
Yeah. I know this isn't a racing game, but I remember you saying that yesterday Nickelodeon is coming out with kind of like a Smash Brawl.
Yeah, I expect nothing from it.
I want to play as SpongeBob and beat someone's head. Krabby
Plays Powder
Patty.
Toast Man as well.
I think that sounds like it could be fun just for a few laughs at least, right? Okay, let's take a minute to hear a word from our sponsor.
But what about notoriously bad racing games? Okay, have you ever heard of a game called Big Rig Racing? I think it is.
Yeah.
It's
Oh man, I
literally
watched a guy play
It's
that
literally
not too
supposed
long
to be
ago.
one of the worst games ever made, where there's like you can just drive through buildings, mountains, just there's no clipping at all. And if you go backwards, the game doesn't understand. So if you drive in reverse, you can literally drive like 2,000 miles an hour. So it's weird.
It's brutal.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
watched some guy doing a playthrough of that because it's supposed to be like the worst racing game ever. And what Stinky says is exactly right. I think the one other thing was like the AI seemed like they never ever left the starting line when he was playing.
No.
So you could didn't matter how long you even took, you'd automatically win because the AI driver just didn't show up.
And then another notoriously bad racing game. Well, I guess it's kind of a racing game. I think it's called Desert Bus. And it's and all you do is just drive a bus through the desert, and it's just a big straight line. I think it's like a Super Nintendo game, or that era, maybe on the PC. But yeah.
You got to move around the other vehicles, or
No, I don't think there's any other vehicles. I think it's just a straight line, and you just hold down the A button. I saw a thing on the Angry Video Game Nerd. He did a video on it a while back.
Yeah, that's who I watched play that Big Rig Racing.
Okay, so if we're talking about worst, this isn't the worst, but has bad racing in it. If you let people build the courses, GTA 5 is a great racing game. It has racing in it, I should say. And some of the courses are just horrible that when you let people build those racing courses. So I guess that's a game. Yeah, you can race cars, build courses, all that fun stuff. GTA 5.
You could do like
There's so much racing variance in GTA 5. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
They
Stop
have Tron
playing that
bike competition races where you got to take out your opponent and shit like that. With like the trail behind the bike, they have like third person racing where you're looking down on your car.
Oh yeah.
Insane transformation races where you transform into a plane for part of it, and then like you're on a jet ski, and then you're in a car. There's a lot on GTA.
You should just come out with a new one.
New GTA? I think we were talking about that the other day. Like, finally, we need games just to hurry up and come out with the next one. Stop making remastered copies. We bring that up. What do you think about remastered games? Do you think they should stay, just come out with new stuff, or should they keep bringing up the dead ones?
It depends on how old the game is and how good the remaster is. Is kind of like, if the game came out 4 years ago, there's no point remastering it. But if it's like say, like if the rumors are true and then they are going to do a proper full-on remake of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, those games will, been out for long enough. So that kind of is a good thing.
Or do you want new?
Well, apparently they're supposed to be built in a whole new game engine, like so kind of it'd be fun to go in there and relive them.
I'd rather have a brand new game and a brand new engine with a different story.
Yeah, I know that, but like, I'd still prefer them to take their time rather than bring something out that's like Cyberpunk and it's just falling apart at the seams or fucking whatever,
Well, didn't you just say they postponed Far Cry 6 and 2042 due to some technical issues?
2042 and Dying Light 2.
Oh, Dying Light 2, okay. Which is good. I'd rather have a good game that's released instead of having to fight against the struggle bus.
Well, I think Battlefield only got pushed back by about a month or 6 weeks, where Dying Light's like 2 or 3 months. But then that game's also been in development hell the whole time it's been coming out, so it'll be interesting to see how it works out.
Exactly. Okay. Anybody else want to bring up any racing games? Rosie, you have anything? You have any bad games that you ever played in racing games, or what games do you like to play in general? Oh, they're mostly probably racing games.
First-person shooters.
First-person shooters.
I downloaded with PlayStation Plus. You get 2 free games every month.
Okay.
And this month I downloaded Predator Hunting Grounds.
Interesting.
So like the movie Predator,
Okay.
they turned it into a game.
Ooh. So do you play as the Predator?
You can do both. So, like,
Okay.
it's an online game. So you have like 3 like soldiers or whatever that you play as, and someone else plays as the Predator.
Kind of like Evolve.
And it's all right. I don't think it was made on a large budget, that's for sure. Yeah, that one right there.
Hey, Predator Hunting Grounds. Yeah, this game looks
was
pretty
free.
good. It was free?
Yes. Otherwise, I would have never bought it.
What's the right price then?
Yeah. I think it's like $40 or something.
Yeah, so have you played any of it?
I played a bit fair bit. It's not bad. The movement, you really have to, like, if you're used to playing with like sensitive controls,
Yeah.
you really have to adjust it. It's the movement's slow. The graphics are kind of I don't know, it's kind of fun. I like it. The online, it's like you do like missions with your teammates, so you have to go like from this place to this place and like
Try not to die.
yeah, and then at some point the Predator comes in and you like it has like a huge amount of health, so you just have to unload bullets on it. And,
So is the Predator played by another player?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it's like a 3-on-1. You have
Okay,
like 3
yeah.
soldiers and then someone plays the Predator.
There's a few games out that are kind of like that. I know there's how would you consider Left 4 Dead? Pretty much the same thing where you got to run a course. While you have people playing the zombies and you have to complete different courses. That would be there in that Back 4 Blood that's coming out to Game Pass in October. Right?
I believe so, yeah.
It will be the same. You get to run basically a group of 4 people, and you have to run 4 different stages, safe house to safe house. Well, other players have like 4 or 5 zombies to choose from that it can be attacking you, whether it be a tank zombie, where it can just take a lot of damage, or one that can like pick up a person and hold them, so they has to be shot. One that like pukes bile. Back zombies to that player that got hit with the bile, or one that kind of like lurks and jumps onto people or ties them up to kind of stop them from going and overwhelm them with zombies. So I kind of like games like that. So I'm pretty sure you're going to enjoy that game. And do you, because I know you don't have Xbox, so you don't really play with us.
Yeah, in that game you can, though.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can. Yeah, it is definitely crossplay. That one there, computer, PlayStation, and Xbox. So, like how it's becoming a cross-platform for a lot of games, so people can buy their go-to console and still be able to play with all their friends, right? So, like, let me ask you a question here. Why did you buy a PlayStation? Was it because the friend group you hang out with all has PlayStation? Or is it because you made or personal
It was
decision?
kind of on a whim.
Yeah.
Like I never really had before that as a kid it was like in computer because my parents refused to buy me one no matter how much I'd bug them.
I remember playing computer,
but and I just kind of bought it on a whim. I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, why not, right?
And then so I've had it for 5 years or something.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about upgrading to the new PS5? Or would you go to Xbox Series X?
I don't know.
Haven't decided yet?
Haven't decided. Haven't thought about it.
So, hey guys, anybody have anything else they want to ask? Maybe ask Dozy a question or something about a racing game. Because it is our first special guest of ever. Being a guest.
Dozy, how much did Haunted offer to pay you for being a guest?
Enough.
Is that coming out of the advertising pot?
Yes, I gave him My daughter got a little toy out of a McDonald's pack, so I'm going to give it to him.
Oh, there we go. That sounds like a fair.
It in your
Is
hand.
it? Yeah, it's right here.
It's
It's a little mouse that comes out of a piece of cheese.
Jerry.
It's Jerry. Yes, there you go. Look, even
It's
better.
Jerry and a piece of
Worth
cheese.
more now.
I'm honored.
Anyone else have anything they want to bring up, or do you guys want to move on?
Just one more comment. Stinky brought up that Desert Bus game. And I was doing a little bit of research here, and it actually exists. And
Did
it's,
some
I
research.
wouldn't lie to you. Jesus.
the bus contains no passengers. There's little scenery aside from occasional rock or bus stop. There's no traffic. The road is simplified compared to real highways. It's now completely straight. But the bus always veers slightly to the right. So you've got to constantly pay attention and, steer it back to the left. Because if you go off the road, the bus will stall and you get towed back to the start. And if you make it all the way to Las Vegas, you score 1 point.
Pretty good.
Does it blow up if you go under 50 miles an hour?
No, the bus can only go 45 miles per hour max.
And it's just
Apparently,
straight?
Yeah.
just a straight line, yeah. And it says it takes 8 hours. I don't know if that's real time or game time. That seems rank, but anyways, a group of people have got together every year since 2007 to play this game as a fundraiser for a charity called Child's Play. And last year, they raised over $1 million.
Holy cow.
So,
That's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Just buy a bus and do it for real.
Would probably be a little more exciting.
Probably too exciting. And another fun fact. That game was on a collection for the Sega CD called Penn and Teller's Smoke and Mirrors. So it was actually sort of engineered by those two magician guys.
Oh, I like those.
I don't trust magicians anyway, so.
Well, you wouldn't after driving that bus.
Sounds
Thinking
like
about
a-
other dumb things with racing games, you know that there's actually a Need for Speed movie that I'm pretty sure is terrible.
No, I didn't know that. But
Did you guys ever watch that Far Cry movie that I guys told you to watch? That was a real
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's
Nope.
garbage too.
Hey, you're garbage. You know what's garbage? I'm not even saying,
My
'cause I'm
backyard's
not
like
that
Far
mean.
Cry. I don't have to worry about that. You guys are.
Do you use snakes as vines?
Honey badgers and shit coming out.
Oh, okay. So yesterday, this is besides the topic, this is about Australia and how stupid koala bears are. I've learned that koala bears have the smallest brain size to body mass ratio ever. They have a smooth brain matter ever. They have no wrinkles so that their neurons don't fire that fast. And basically, if you take the eucalyptus leaves off the branch, it will not identify him as food. If you put him in the middle of a room, surrounding him by his food, eucalyptus leaves, he will starve to death because he doesn't identify any of it as food. Fun fact.
I'll put it into practice for science, and I'll let you know next week.
Yes, no. And don't let them pee on you because remember, they do carry chlamydia. And yeah, you get it. Oh, make sure you always wear a raincoat. Hey, guys. Yeah, poor guys. This will take us to the next segment. It's time for Audit's Theoretical Questions of the Week. This is where I ask the crew here and our Facebook and Twitter friends, and make sure, and we also ask on our Discord, so remember to join our Discord. You can always interact with us there. We're always on. Maybe we'll play some video games together. And yeah, we'll have fun there. This week, I asked if you were naked in a fighting ring with nothing but your fists, how many squirrels do you think you could take out before they overpower you And I want to see what would be your strategy.
So I have my first question.
Let's lay down some rules here.
Is it all at once? Do they all come at once, or is it like did they like come in waves?
In waves.
Release the squirrels.
Yeah, it'll be like waves, and then progressively more squirrels per wave.
Okay, that's.
Whereas like a battle royale, where every 3 minutes and look like the wrestling, where every 3 minutes a new wrestler gets thrown into the ring, and then.
I honestly think I could fuck up some squirrels pretty seriously.
Okay, so I have a question too, just to make it clear. Are the squirrels just regular squirrels, or do they have like rabies?
Just regular squirrels.
Okay.
They're mad at you. Oh, they're coming for you, so you're gonna have to fight them off.
Well, they can fucking bring it on.
They're not rabid though.
They're coming straight for your bag because you're stark naked.
Because they're there for nuts. They're coming to hide your nuts, so they're coming for that.
I have to only use my fists.
Yeah, that's all you got.
All right. So,
well, you can start using other squirrels.
Because I mean, like, could I stomp on them?
Yeah, you can stomp on them. You can tie two squirrels together and start using nunchucks.
I think it would be pretty easy up to a point.
Yes.
Now, what happens at the end? Do you like tap out, or do you just fight to the death?
Tap out.
Oh, okay.
Be nice. You got to survive this one. Okay, so who wants to go first? Well, we let her
what if they
guess
chew off
first.
your arms and you can't tap out?
Then you're fucked. Better start.
Game over.
Yeah. Okay. Rosie, why don't you go first?
I'm pretty confident I could fuck them up.
Okay, so how many squirrels are we talking?
How many? I don't know. I'm not a very fit person, so...
One squirrel comes at you, pretty good.
I could probably take on like 10 at a time, I would say.
10 at a time?
That's manageable. I mean, like, it can't take much to kill them.
You'd probably pick one up and squeeze it with your hands.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Squeeze it like a tube of toothpaste.
Yeah.
I don't know. How many? I don't know.
How many waves? You think when 20 squirrels
I could
are
probably
coming
do 10 rounds.
10 rounds?
10 squirrels.
And double each go?
No. Well, no.
That would be like 100 on the last wave.
100 squirrels.
Or more.
You fuck up 100 squirrels?
If I was angry enough, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if they're going for my bag and shit.
They're going for your bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to do my utmost not to let them get
At some point, a couple squirrels might be hanging off your bag.
Well, then I just squeeze them. They're tiny. They're
okay.
Your bag?
Yeah. You're squeezing your bag or the squirrel?
When you squeeze them?
Okay, Stinky, why don't you go next?
Well, I guess for a
now.
tough guy answer is I grab the first squirrel and then use him like nunchucks and beat shit out of the other squirrels, you know? Or you just fuck one up so bad and then just so his mates know what they're in for. But in reality, see, that's a tough guy answer, but in reality, I'm only a small build dude, so I reckon one squirrel would probably take me down. I'd be done.
Be screaming?
Yeah.
Save me, Superman.
No, fuck you. No, well, I'd definitely prefer death by squirrel than saved by Superman.
So you're going to say one squirrel's going to destroy you?
Probably, because the Australian outback hasn't been kind. So
So we're talking Australians, Australian squirrels?
Yeah, they're the size of Volkswagen Beetles.
If we're dealing with Australia, I wouldn't stand a chance. If we're talking like the little squirrels that hang out in your backyard here, yes.
Not the Volkswagen-sized
No.
1-ton beetles or 1-ton squirrels that Stinky has to deal with.
Not a chance.
Are they venomous?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
They're Australian, so yeah.
Yeah, everything's poisonous down there.
Okay, what about you, Hoagie?
See, I came into this question thinking it was just going to be like an endless swarming wave of fucking squirrels. And you're in a ring. And my idea was I'm just going to keep climbing on the top rope and just like fucking belly flopping on these motherfuckers and take out as many as I could before they fucking take me out. That was I don't know how many I'd take out, I might only get one belly flop in, but it's going to be a good one, damn it. So that's what I kind of figured would happen.
It's a bunch of red paste on the.
And there's just going to be,
right?
it's just going to be a lot of squish stuff in the rain.
Yeah.
It's going to be mush.
Mush. Yeah.
It was either that or I was going to
Ribbit dancing
channel
in the
my
middle.
inner Cotton Eye Joe and just start stomping the shit out of everything that come near me.
Start doing line dancing.
Just start stomping.
Hey, what about you, Bardo?
Yeah, I think it'd be endless waves. My idea is
Okay.
kind of similar to Pogi, except I'd lie down and roll, and I would just keep rolling, and I expect my weight alone would just squish them like a tube of toothpaste, and I would just keep rolling on the ground. You know?
Be like
Stop, drop, and
little
roll.
tubes
Yeah.
of squirrel fur everywhere.
Like I would only
Such a
lose
funny
when I got
visual.
tired of rolling.
A naked guy rolling around on top of
rolling in
squirrels.
endless circles. Just
Yeah,
just
keep
fucking
rolling.
squirrels.
I think I could kill a lot of squirrels. Like I would have to tire out from rolling before they got the upper hand.
Dizzy enough that you couldn't move anymore.
I wouldn't need to
At that
roll
point-
fast either because they're attacking me. So they're going to come at me, and they're going to end up on the bottom of my fat ass as I roll around in a circle. One hand on the nuts so they can't get the jewels. One hand kind of covering the face and just rolling. With my vital organs, I should be good. Because you can probably
Or the
fit a couple
neck.
squirrels up your ass. So
You could. Well, the anus stretches 8 inches.
It'd suffocate.
Start hoovering them in your butthole. All right, Uncle Blobby.
No, honestly, I don't know. Coming into
Good
this,
question.
I wondered if I could tap out. That's why I asked that question, I guess. Or I kind of thought the question was going to be, it's just endless waves until you die. So how many can you take out to survive? And the answer was going to be as many as it takes. Like, I'm not going to die to
But that's a lame answer. You gotta have a better answer than
squirrel overload. And I think if I had to fight them, I'd just be stomping. I gotta keep them away from my upper body where my bits are and my eyes and things like that. So I'm not gonna roll on the ground like Barto where, my face is immediately in the squirrels. Like that might work, but it's not gonna be my go-to. I think that stomping is where it's at, and it's unfortunate that I'm barefoot because I think that having like boots on or something would be an advantage.
you don't want to get a little squirrel bone in the bottom of your foot.
Yeah, that would slow me down.
You just need some cleats, some like football.
Oh, yeah, soccer cleats, yeah. But as to how many, I haven't got a clue. If they came in waves, how many waves before I tapped out? I really don't know. I'm not a big into killing squirrels with my bare hands, so I do what it takes. But
I think I'm okay. So if I had to start taking out squirrels, I think after I got bit, times I would go irate. So where you black out, you just get mad. At that point, you would have squirrel blood. The football markings under the eyes. It would be squirrel blood, right? You'd stand up kind of like Rambo, and you just start murdering, just killing. I'm probably up to about 70 or 80 squirrels. Would probably be my limit for sure. Then it would just be too much because they'd overwhelm you, and you'd just be a big heap of wiggly squirrels all over you. And then after they left, you'd just be a pile of bone. Vision of how the fight would go. So
I think that's a reasonable amount.
that
be
shock
impressive
everybody.
enough.
I think it's 70 or 80. That'd be it for me. But after a point, after you got bit a few times, you get so mad that you just be blacked out, just smashing.
It's like when you get bitten by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck these fucking things. And then you just lose it.
Just irate. This is naked, haunted.
I think
Squirrels.
that point you made about blacking out, that would probably be a huge advantage. Just getting into that mode we'd probably get you 25 to 50 extra squirrels. Easily.
For sure, yeah. Okay. I know we had one person comment on our Facebook page. Just pull that up quickly here. Oh, 2 comments. Fuck you, Farley. Posted, he said at least 3 squirrels. He said he would take on and kill at least 3 squirrels before he gave up. Another one here.
That's not a very good attempt.
No. Come on, you can do more than that.
I got taken out by 1.
Yeah,
So,
Siggy did
like,
Yeah,
but
that's an Australian.
That's an Australian squirrel. That's allowed. They're the size of Volkswagen Beetles. You don't get a little bit of agreement there. And then this David said, "Hope they're not rabid squirrels with attitudes, but I think I could handle a couple."
they're Conker's bad fur day squirrels.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Half a squirrel.
straight up, just play you right away. Hey guys, anybody else want to bring anything up? Ready to play some video games this week? Try out some new video games and bring it to the table next week.
Yeah, hey, there's one other game on Game Pass that I want to download. It's called Katamari Damacy Reroll. I don't know if you guys have noticed that on there or not, but
On Game Pass?
I've never played any of those games, but I know what they are.
yeah, so I had one of these games on the PS2, and I just loved it. So you're this little alien guy, and you start with this little gravity ball thing, and you're in like somebody's living room or whatever, and you're really tiny. And
Okay.
you got to push it around, and this gravity ball will collect the objects you roll over. So you roll over a bunch of dimes and like some candies and erasers or whatever. And then the ball gets bigger, and you can start picking up bigger things in that room. So it's kind of like that perspective game in a way. And eventually the ball gets so big that you can like roll out the back door and you start picking up the trees and picking up the people in the streets, and you get big enough you can pick up the buildings. And yeah, it's on Game Pass for free.
Sounds fun.
So I want to play that again just to kind of relive that.
It's only available, it says playable on PC.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's on Xbox.
Yeah, so take a look, guys. It might be fun.
You can have a look too, Bardo, because like that could be training for when you fight your squirrels.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You're just rolling around, you know. What if the squirrel's just attached to you and you got to be a bigger and bigger massive squirrel?
Squirrels? Oh, you could take on a lot more squirrels. You become their master. You'd become the Squirrel King.
I'm okay with those.
Hey guys, well, that'll do it for another episode of Peanut Gallery Gaming, where our opinions don't matter, but yours do. So make sure you reach out to us on our Facebook, Twitter page. Make sure you join our Discord. And we want to hear from you guys. So that'll be it for now. Bye.
See you later.
See you guys.
Bye.
Not gonna say bye, Hoagie.
Did I not say goodbye?
He's-
I must have been muted.
That's okay. I'll paste in the one he said last week.
I did say bye. Y'all just didn't hear it.